As morning light filled the streets of Jerusalem, a man who had been blind since birth sat beside a busy road near the temple, quietly asking passers-by for help. Day after day he lived in darkness, depending on the kindness of strangers, never knowing what the world around him looked like. One day, Jesus and his disciples passed by. Seeing the blind man, the disciples asked why he had been born blind and whether his condition was the result of sin. Jesus gently answered that the man's blindness was not caused by his own sin or his parents' sin, but so that the works of God might be revealed through him. Moved with compassion, Jesus knelt on the ground, made mud from the dust, and gently placed it upon the blind man's eyes. Then he told him, "Go and wash in the Pool of Siloam." Without hesitation, the man trusted Jesus' words and carefully made his way through the crowded streets of Jerusalem. Though he still could not see, hope now filled his heart as he walked toward the pool. Reaching the water, he knelt down and washed the mud from his eyes. In that unforgettable moment, light flooded into his eyes for the very first time. He looked up in amazement, seeing the blue sky, the shimmering water, the stone walls of Jerusalem, and the faces of the people around him. Overwhelmed with joy, he walked through the city, marveling at everything his eyes had never seen before. Neighbors and people who had known him for years stopped in disbelief. Some said, "Isn't this the man who used to sit and beg?" Others insisted it could not be him. But the man boldly declared, "I am the one." When they asked how he had received his sight, he simply told them that a man named Jesus had placed mud on his eyes and told him to wash in the Pool of Siloam. And now he could see. News of the miracle spread quickly throughout Jerusalem until it reached the Pharisees. They brought the healed man before them and questioned him carefully. When they learned that Jesus had healed him on the Sabbath, many of them became angry. Some argued that Jesus could not be from God because he had performed this act on the Sabbath, while others wondered how a sinner could perform such an extraordinary miracle. Turning to the healed man, they asked what he believed about Jesus. Without fear, he answered that Jesus was a prophet. Still unwilling to believe, the Pharisees questioned whether he had ever truly been blind. They summoned his parents and asked if this was really their son. His parents confirmed that he had indeed been born blind, but when asked how he now could see, they answered cautiously, saying only that their son was old enough to speak for himself. They were afraid because anyone who openly supported Jesus risked being put out of the synagogue. The Pharisees then questioned the healed man again, hoping to force him to deny Jesus. But with growing courage, he answered, "Whether he is a sinner or not, I do not know. One thing I do know, I was blind, but now I see." His simple testimony left the religious leaders without an answer. Frustrated by his boldness, they rejected him and cast him out. Alone once more, the man walked through the streets of Jerusalem. Although he had been rejected by the religious leaders, he now experienced the beauty of the world he had never seen. Soon Jesus found him again and spoke to him with kindness. Jesus asked whether he believed in the Son of Man. The man replied that he wanted to believe and asked who he was. Jesus revealed that the one speaking with him was the very one he was seeking. At that moment, the man understood. The one who had opened his eyes was also the promised Savior. Filled with gratitude, he bowed before Jesus in worship. His life had been forever changed, not only because he had received his sight, but because he had come to know the one who is the light of the world.